Good morning, everyone, fellow Universal Law lovers, and welcome to week 2 in my series of the Year of Magic with the Universal Laws. This week, we are going to be focusing on the law of vibration, which is kind of one of my favorite laws, but it just is. So it's just so much fun and it has so much potential. Let's just get started, okay? So, last week in the Law of Perpetual Transmutation, I touched a little bit about how each of us are made up of energy that are that is generated by vibrating cells, right? And that's basically all the law of vibration is. It's telling us that everything around us is made up of energy that is vibrating at a certain frequency. So everything is affecting your frequency and kind of running into you like a little tower of power. We'll go back to the analogy of where we are little radio towers sending out signals to the universe. Each of us are taking in all the vibrations around us, of everything around us, in every emotion and thought and everything around us, and it's combining into one centralized vibration. So each of us has a basal vibrational level that we all begin at, and it is made up of our thoughts and our emotions and our physical being and just everything. And as humans add stuff onto our vibrations, positive thoughts, the food we eat, it raises our vibration or it lowers our vibration. Neither is good or bad. It's just something that happens. What we want to try to do is be aware of our vibrations so that we can kind of concentrate it and send off an energy that we want out into the universe so that it can respond with the way we would like to co-create our universe. So let's imagine that you are at this very basal line of energy, okay? And let's say that you do positive affirmations every morning. So it's just going to raise your energy frequency a little bit, right? And say like midday, you have an anxiety attack. Okay, it's going to lower your vibrations. Now, as long as you're kind of doing the same on the top and bottom, it's going to even out and everything. But eventually, what is going to happen is if you consistently stay at one vibration or try to stay at one vibration, it's going to kind of shift your vibration either higher or lower. Again, neither is better or worse. It just kind of happens naturally. But it's something that we control by keeping control of our energy and making sure we know where our energy is going and what is coming into our energy field. Now, I originally had a little visualization, but I'm going to switch it up this morning. I want you to imagine that as you're a little tower of energy, you have a little centralized power core inside of you, shaped in however you want. I'll make mine a pyramid just to keep things even and synchronized with my previous analogy. And in this pyramid inside of me, I imagine it glowing yellow. It's got this nice, soft, glowing light that is projecting this energy out into the universe. Okay? Now, going into my pyramid are little threads of energy that kind of represent everything around me. They represent this plant, my children, my dogs, my husband, my computer, just little bitty threads going in. Some of them are more powerful than others because some of them have a higher influence on me. And some of them are just kind of staying there, but they all kind of have their own separate little vibration, right? So my plants are probably going to give off a very consistent vibration just because they are living. But if I neglect them for a couple weeks, then they're going to start shifting their vibration, it's going to be a little bit lower because they're not getting fed or getting enough light or whatnot. Okay, so what we are doing with the law of vibration is we are taking the things around us that kind of make us happy or light us up or don't make us happy and make us feel bad, and we are plugging them into our little power core. Okay, so if I wake up in the morning and I have my cup of coffee, I'm going to have this little strand of gold light that I'm powering into my pyramid, and it's going to kind of raise my frequency. As I go throughout the day, I'm going to say my affirmations, and it's going to be little wires going in, little threads going into my pyramid, and it's going to kind of raise my vibration. Now, I'm also unfortunately going to have frustrations at any random things, hitting a red light, being late to a meeting, maybe doing that report at work that I don't want to do. Maybe I'm going to have some anxiety, getting on Facebook Live because I don't really want to have everybody see me talking about things. There's lots of different things, okay? No big deal. I think what you want to really be aware of is kind of plugging into you things that make you light up, okay? And things that are going to raise your vibration. I'm assuming that's why you're here and you found my page, is because you kind of want to raise your vibration and get your energy to the optimal level. So what you're going to optimally do is just find things that make you very, very happy. But here's where I think a lot of people get tripped up. Well, at least maybe I just get tripped up. So many things, memes and everything going around saying things like, oh, everything you put into your body, everything you read, you think about, you consume is affecting your energy. So make sure your energy vibration is high. And I absolutely agree with that. I think that is 100% accurate. But I do think that if it makes you really happy, it does have potential to raise your vibrational energy. And so I kind of believe personally that each thing kind of has an energetic peak, if you will. Okay, so let me give you an example. All right, so before the pandemic, I was I really enjoyed getting a Starbucks every once in a while. Not all the time, but just, once in a while, I would really like to go out and get my Starbucks. So I would go out and I would just, have that experience going through the drive-through, ordering whatnot, and I would plug that into my little pyramid, and it would make me really happy. Now, oftentimes I would get a cup that was just a little bit too big for me for whatever reason. I was feeling like I just needed that caffeine boost or whatnot. Now my energy would start to rise because I'm feeling really good about my coffee. I'm feeling really good drinking my coffee. It's making me really happy. But probably about 3/4 of the way through, it would start to lower. Like it just, those last kind of dregs of your Starbucks coffee that are just a little bit too sugary. It's not quite as hot as it was. You're feeling kind of sick in the stomach because you shouldn't have eaten all that sugar. It's kind of like that. Okay, so it peaked, it made me happy, but then it kind of leveled off. So I think that with energy, it's something, just like with the law of perpetual transmutation, it's something that you really need to be aware of. You kind of need to be aware of what you're plugging in, and then when that energy level peaks, kind of like also when you would sit down and maybe binge a television show or have a movie marathon. I love having movie marathons, but I have learned as I've gotten older that I can't sit there and I can't watch like 4 Quentin Tarantino movies back to back. Okay, that first one makes me feel really good and everything, but after that it kind of loses its potency and I start not feeling super great. It's just a lot. It's just a little bit too much for me. So all I'm saying is that it's good to know what lights you up, but you also need to know when it starts maybe taking a toll and sucking out your energy as opposed to inputting good energy. It's just something to be aware of. Again, neither good or bad, right? We're human. We're all going to have things that tap into our energy fields and suck out our energy sometimes, but it's always good to kind of be aware of what's going on. And this is where the law of vibration comes in. Okay, everything has a different frequency, so everything's going to affect you a little bit differently at different times of the day, even. But I personally think it's very good to have a plethora of things that you can, plug into your energetic field, you know? So I am all for positive affirmations. I think those are great. High vibe music. I love having plants around. I love having crystals around. But even those, they have energetic peaks. No big deal. But if I continually plug things that light me up into my energy core, then it's going to shift my basal vibrational level up. And if I keep doing that, again, it's going to shift it up and up and up, right? So even if I do have those occasional, episodes of frustration or anxiety attacks or anything, my overall energetic frequency is going to be a little bit higher. So I don't really have to worry so much about what's happening overall because I'm still kind of sending out what I want to the universe. And luckily for all of us, the universe doesn't give us exactly what we want at the exact moment we want it because, oh my gosh, that would be terrible, right? Usually our emotions are like a constant, some kind of wave. I don't know. There's a very scientific term for it. Whatever. Okay, so back to vibrations. Try to find things that light you up and make you happy. And I think that this law is, I love it so much because I think it lends to so many ways to experiment and so many ways to kind of explore to see what things make you happy, because there are probably a lot more things out there that maybe make you happy that you're not even aware of, right? So for instance, I love to read and everything, but for a long time, I had this belief that if I started a book, I needed to finish it. Like I started that, I need to finish it, blah, blah, blah. It turns out that you don't really have to do that. There's no book police. They don't care if you finish a book. They don't care what book you read. So I, just started reading things that I actually really enjoyed instead of, those classics that maybe I don't really think I have much interest in. So I'll stick with my Rick Riordan mythological series as opposed to reading War and Peace. Okay? And that's just an example. Probably not a good one, but an example of what's going to light you up. So just be aware and experiment and explore. Okay? And let's go ahead and just get to the 3 tips of the day. All right? Now, I do want you guys to remember as I'm going through this that these tips are going to stack upon each other because I really believe that the universal laws are kind of like a really powerful regenerative recycle symbol that's inside of your body, and they just build on each other, and so they all work together. And so some of the tips might overlap, not a lot, but they might, because we're all just working in a circle trying to power up our core to shoot off a great frequency to the universe. Okay, so tip 1, that's what you really want, right? Okay, tip 1 is to just move your body. I know that I'm not going to tell you to start an exercise routine or anything, but I do think that it's very, very possible. I have no scientific evidence to back this up, but I think it's very possible that when you are sitting still for a long period of time, or watching a movie, sitting in your office chair, doing whatever, even sleeping, your energy starts to get kind of stagnant, and it tends to kind of build up and just not move around much in your body, right? So Maybe it hangs out in your knees or your shoulders or your hips or whatever. So just move around. If you are in a position where you can't move around, maybe you're on a airplane or in an office meeting or something, just kind of snap your fingers or do some clapping or, stretch or yawn or do something. Just kind of, if possible, be aware of what's going on. Like if you're starting to feel like, oh, my vibrations shifting a little down, I'm not feeling so hot, I'm just really sick and tired of being here at work around these people. Maybe it's time to jump up and take a little quick lap around the office, or, you know, reach up and do some of those office yoga stretches. Just something. Just keep the energy moving through your body. Not necessarily, I mean, you are shifting it like in the law of perpetual transmutation, but we're just kind of wanting to keep the energy moving around so that it's kind of circulating towards our core. Okay, kind of like very much like your heart. Okay, number 2, listen to something upbeat. I mean, some people are not big music fans. I never really listened to it growing up, but there is just something very nice and exciting about hearing a song and just having it make you feel alive and feel amazing. And I really believe that we should, throw it back Ally McBeal 1990s style, and everybody should have their own theme song and maybe multiple theme songs to coordinate with multiple occasions. Because I just think that, when I'm feeling blue and I'm feeling down and like, ugh, I don't really want to do that laundry. You know, that's okay. I just throw on, I'm just gonna tell you, my theme song is "It's Juice" by Lizzo. I don't know. That song just really gets my blood flowing, and it's really exciting. And you know, I just I also really enjoy Rebel Yell by Billy Idol. It just really just does something for my energy and just gives it a boost. So maybe experiment with songs. Maybe you don't really like songs. Maybe you could try drumming. There's Stephen and David Gordon. They have a lot of really great drumming. It's just nice to have something in the background, something that's just going to kind of make you go, oh yeah, I just want to go out and conquer the world. Okay. Just a good energy, vibrational thing to have in your back pocket. Just another tool, right? It's always good to have tools. Okay, my third tip is to be present and be aware. It was originally meditate, which I do think is very, very important, but I mean, some people just don't enjoy meditating. I personally like it because it gives me some alone time away from my family, like in a very quiet area. It gives me that time to just kind of zone out. But some people just don't like it. So I will tell you that just being present in the moment, just standing there and closing your eyes and taking a deep breath and saying, okay, what is coming into my energy field? What is currently sucking out my energy? Easy to figure out, right? It's what you're usually thinking about and what your mind is usually spinning around, spiraling. That's a good way to do it. And then just, let it go. So just be present. It's being aware of what your energy is doing, but it's also being aware of what is coming into your energetic core, because you want good stuff to come into your energetic core, right? You don't want like yuck. You just don't want that. Okay? So, law of vibration. So much fun to experiment. I would encourage everyone this week to just go out and find, I don't know, a dozen, 30, 50 things that, just really make you happy. And it doesn't have to be anything big, Maybe it's getting up and drinking a glass of ice water with this with some flower essence. Flower essences are really great for raising your vibration. Maybe it's picking up your favorite crystal and holding it. Maybe it's going up to your plant that you have watered, but maybe you haven't dusted for a while. It just kind of shifts the energy around. There's tons of ways to raise your energetic vibration. And I think this is just, I love this law because it's like the universe's way of saying, hey, figure out what you like, go for it. Do it and do it often so that, you can feel good, because really when it comes back to it, it's all about what we are feeling and what that frequency is going to the universe, right? So we can get what we want. Okay, so recap. Everything is energy. Everything is going into our vibrational core. We need to be aware of what's going into our core and start sticking things into our core that makes us happy so that we can raise our overall frequency. So 3 tips are: you're going to move it, just move your body a little bit, right? Shift the energy around, get it circulating back up to your core, like your heart. 2, you're going to find a theme song and you're going to put it in the comments for me, because everybody should have a theme song. And I just love the hearing new music recommendations, and I'm always adding things to my high vibe, my Christie's High Vibe Spotify list. So I would love to hear yours. And then 3, be present in the moment. If you can meditate, then always meditate. Just always meditate, but just be present about what your energy is doing. Okay? Let's see. I think that's it for the law of vibration. Next week we are going to go on to the law of attraction, which I know everybody thinks is super exciting and sexy. So let's just jump right in next week. But remember that in order to attract everything that you want in the world, you gotta have high vibrations. So start working on that. Shift that energy with the law of perpetual transmutation. Raise that vibration with the law of vibration. And so we can start learning the optimum way to attract all the good things in our life next week with week 3. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.